The launch of the powerful Steam Deck paved the way for portable gaming to advance to the next level, running an extensive roster of AAA titles with graphics on par with PC and consoles. Whether you're looking for a casual arcade game or a realistic experience where every detail counts, I've got you covered with this list of the best racing games you can play on your Steam Deck. Assetto Corsa is a realistic driving simulation game featuring some hardcore options and a tough challenge for both new and old players. The game places huge emphasis on realism, featuring authentic physics, manual controls, and real-life tracks. The realism appeals to players who are looking for a realistic approach with a tough challenge that will keep you on your toes during each race. The game also boasts a diverse lineup of cars featuring different manufacturers and provides extensive modding options to tweak each car to your liking. The visuals are equally detailed, featuring realistic models, tracks based on real-life locations, and dynamic lights. When the Steam Deck became available to order, Dirt 5 was added to its verified list right away. This arcade racer is unique and is not for everyone, but the tracks and the cars look stunning. The Dirt 5 entry into the Dirt franchise is a lot of fun to play and will provide endless hours of thrills and spills. Dirt 5 stepped away from the usual simulation of rally driving, making this version a pick-up-and-play type of game for players new to the genre. There are a whole host of verified racers to play on the Steam Deck, and Dirt 5 should be right at the top of the list. Need for Speed Underground is a racing video game developed by EA Black Box and published by Electronic Arts. Released in 2003, it is part of the long-running Need for Speed series. The game focuses on underground street racing in a fictional city, where players can customize their cars and compete in various races and challenges. Need for Speed Underground received praise for its customization options, engaging gameplay, and soundtrack. Ridge Racer Unbounded is a racing video game developed by Bugbear Entertainment and published by Namco Bandai Games. Released in 2012, it is part of the Ridge Racer series. The game departs from the traditional arcade-style gameplay of the series and introduces a more aggressive style of racing, where players can crash through obstacles and create their own shortcuts. Ridge Racer Unbounded received mixed reviews, with critics praising its destructible environments and fast-paced action but criticizing its lack of innovation and repetitive gameplay. Burnout Paradise Remastered is an enhanced version of Burnout Paradise originally released on PC and 7th generation console. The game puts you in the shoes of a nameless driver visiting the fictional city of Paradise. The player gets to free roam the city, participating in various races and many other events. What makes this game unique is the huge emphasis on destruction, where the player can play aggressively, pushing down opponents and leading them to destruction. The remastered version offers better visuals and a complete game with all DLCs and extra content ready to play. The game runs smoothly on the Steam Deck, except for some minor hiccups. Just keep in mind that you need to log into your EA account before being able to play the game. Most people were pleasantly surprised to see the wealth of quality on display in Hot Wheels Unleashed. Despite some progression issues, the game's take on toy car racing was a blast. The game's breakneck speeds can even cause these vehicles to fly off the tracks. So, fans were interested in seeing what Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, Turbocharged brought to the table, and they weren't disappointed. Featuring more moves and better track design than before, the sequel to Hot Wheels Unleashed is a worthy arcade racer. It addresses a lot of issues players had in the first game and adds some interesting elements of its own to keep players engaged. For those who've got prior experience with the old Flat-Out games, Wreckfest comes from those very same people. Indeed, the Flat-Out DNA is present throughout Wreckfest's gameplay loop. Its glorious crash mechanics and soft body physics play perfectly even on the humble Steam Deck, making this one of the best racing games for the device. This game is an all-crash and no-drive, though, as Wreckfest is a genuinely compelling racing experience from top to bottom. It's just that its crashes are too good not to cause one every so often. Split/Second is an arcade racing game developed by Black Rock Studio and published by Disney Interactive Studios. Released in 2010, the game is known for its unique gameplay mechanics centered around a fictional reality TV show where participants race for survival. Players can trigger explosive events and environmental hazards to take out opponents and alter the course of the race. Split/Second received praise for its thrilling gameplay and innovative use of destructible environments. CarX Drift Racing Online is a drift racing game developed and published by CarX Technologies. Released in 2017, the game focuses on the art of drifting, where players must master the technique of sliding their cars through corners at high speeds. CarX Drift Racing Online features realistic drifting physics, a variety of cars and tracks, and online multiplayer modes. The game is well regarded for its realistic drifting mechanics and challenging gameplay. Dirt Rally 2.0 is, quite easily, the most comprehensive rally racing game on the market right now. It shares Forza Horizon 5's key fault for the deck, in that it's a truly massive installation, but it's got another big downside: its campaign mode can only be played if you're connected to the internet. The reason why it's still on the list is that there's more than enough content to enjoy on the deck even if you discount all the campaigns. In that situation, it basically becomes the original Dirt Rally, which did not have campaigns, except with even more content thrown into the mix. At its core, Redout is a futuristic arcade game that takes inspiration from classic titles like Wipeout and F-Zero. The player pilots high-performance racing ships known as the AG Racers. These ships can float in the air while traveling at high speeds, allowing the player to fly through tracks defying traditional racing physics and offering a unique feel compared to your typical arcade racing games. Both games feature a diverse collection of tracks set in various environments and featuring numerous challenges from easy to hard difficulty. As the player progresses through the game, the player can customize his ship with various power-ups that can come in handy during each race. Both games operate flawlessly after adjustments on the Steam Deck, providing a great on-the-go experience with a significant performance boost over the Nintendo Switch version. If car racing games are niche, motorcycle racing games are a niche within a niche. Thankfully, the Ride franchise, effectively the Gran Turismo for motorcycles, has persevered over the years, with Ride 4 being a notable highlight. On the deck, it works perfectly. Whether you end up targeting 60 FPS with perfect frame times or go for high settings at 40 FPS, both options will work well enough when you're on the go. There aren't many arcade racing games out there, and players will take what they can get at this point. However, it's not necessary to lower one's standards to check out such a racing game. Inertial Drift completely changes the mechanics of how a race works to make for a truly breathtaking time. Using 2 analog sticks to control a car in a race was simply unheard of before this title came into the fray. More racing fans need to check out Inertial Drift and understand what makes it such a special indie gem, and the Steam Deck is a great platform to let this game shine. Circuit Superstars is a top-down racing game developed by Original Fire Games and published by Square Enix. Released in 2021, the game offers a charming art style and a focus on fun, accessible gameplay. Players can race in a variety of cars across different tracks, with an emphasis on realistic driving physics and challenging AI opponents. Circuit Superstars has been praised for its engaging gameplay and retro-inspired visuals. F1 2020 is a racing simulation game developed and published by Codemasters. Released in 2020, it is the official video game of the 2020 Formula One World Championship. The game features all the teams, drivers, and circuits from the 2020 season, as well as several classic cars and tracks. F1 2020 received praise for its realistic driving physics, detailed graphics, and immersive career mode. MudRunner is an off-road driving simulation game developed by Saber Interactive and published by Focus Home Interactive. Released in 2017, the game puts players in control of various off-road vehicles as they navigate challenging terrain and complete objectives. MudRunner is known for its realistic mud and physics simulation, which adds a layer of depth and challenge to the gameplay. The game has been well received for its immersive off-road driving experience. Project Cars 3 has no doubt had its critics since it was released into the wild back in August 2020. Many feel that the 2 previous versions are the better games in the series. The third Project CFARS game changed a lot that made the franchise so successful in the first place, but Project Cars 3 is still an enjoyable racing game. Having been given the deck's green light of approval, Project Cars 3 runs smooth as butter with good graphics. Set to be the final Project Cars game in the series, racing enthusiasts should certainly give it a go on the Steam Deck. Forza Horizon 5 asks you, what if cars were Pokemon, and then lets you mull on that for the dozens of hours it takes to fill out an entire collection of the game's 800 or so immaculately detailed vehicles. The good news? Steam Deck is more than powerful enough to let you enjoy all these cars in all their glory. Indeed, you may need to drop settings down to medium and set a 40 FPS cap for Horizon 5 to play smoothly, but its biggest problem really is the humongous installation size you'll be straddled with. For car enthusiasts, though, it's a surmountable issue, especially if playing in offline mode is not a concern. American Truck Simulator is a truck simulation game developed and published by SCS Software. Released in 2016, The game allows players to drive and manage their own trucking business across the United States. Players start as a truck driver taking on jobs for other companies and eventually work their way up to owning and operating their own trucking business. The game features realistic truck driving mechanics, detailed landscapes, and a variety of trucks and trailers to choose from. American Truck Simulator has been praised for its immersive gameplay and attention to detail in recreating the American trucking experience. Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed Collection is a blast to play on the Steam Deck. Thanks to its verified tag, this racer can be enjoyed at a high frame rate and great graphics, too. The original version was released back in 2012 on the PS3, Xbox 360, Wii U, and PC. There were also handheld versions on the PS Vita, Nintendo 3DS, and mobile. Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed has been on handheld devices for years, but the Steam Deck version takes it to an entirely new level. The graphics are stellar, and the gameplay remains as thrilling as ever. For Sonic racing fun on the go, add this to the Steam Deck library. So, did you like the games I recommended? So leave your like, subscribe to the channel to follow me, and activate the bell because I post a lot of videos on this channel and you can't miss it. Thank you very much for following me this far, and until next time, bye.